Hi there, it's John and Calvin with Video Trail Reports. We're out bright and early this morning at Church Fork in Mill Creek Canyon to hike Grandeur Peak. Mill Creek Canyon is a very popular local recreation area. From Grandeur Peak, you'll be able to see all the way up the canyon, across the eastern mountains, up Parley's Canyon, and as you look west, the entire city of Salt Lake, all the way out to the Salt Flats and the Ochre Mountains. Mill Creek Canyon is particularly popular with dog owners, since dogs are allowed in the lower sections of the canyon. As well as on odd days, they're allowed off-leash, making the recreation area a giant dog park. Grandeur Peak can be reached via the Church Fork picnic area, about 3 miles up Mill Creek Canyon. Here you'll find large and small picnic sites, as well as restrooms. Be aware though, parking is limited, and there's no garbage service, so you need to take out all your trash. Also, dogs are required to be on leash anytime you're off the trail, regardless of what days you're here. Lastly, there is a $3 fee to use the Mill Creek Recreation Area, which is paid upon exit. Before reaching the Grandeur Peak trailhead, there's a small waterfall along the side of the road. If you were to get the picnic area directly behind this, that would sure make for a beautiful day. The trailhead for Grandeur Peak is located at the end of the Church Fork picnic area. There's very few spots here, and if you arrive before 8 a.m. like I did, you'll have to park on the street and walk the rest of the way. Here, you'll find a small waterfall that'll give you a preview of the kind of beauty you're going to be seeing. Once you're ready for your hike up Grandeur Peak, grab some doggy bags for your four-legged friend, check your signage to make sure there's no additional things you need to know, and it's time to release the hounds. Almost immediately, you'll cross over a footbridge at the top of the waterfall you saw in the parking lot below. This cascade here will be your last chance to see something like this, despite the creek running alongside the first leg of the trail. If you're bringing your dog up here to let them off leash, it is required that your dog be under voice control.
Calvin, come on!
There are also some other things you should know about this area, so I've included a link to the Salt Lake County Parks in the description below. A tenth of a mile in, Grandeur Peak Trail will intersect with the Pipeline Trail. This is very well marked and shouldn't be difficult for you to find the correct way to go. The first section of the Grandeur Peak Trail meanders up Church Fork through old-growth forests. Here, you'll see rocky features juxtaposed on one side with the creek on the other. This area is very well maintained and great effort has been taken to make it accessible. There's an additional footbridge which crosses over a small stream, and shortly past that, a staircase constructed into the side of the hill. It is important to keep your dogs controlled up here, as there is wildlife. There were several spots along this trail where I smelled the strong stench of skunk, and was certain that some people were taking dogs home with their windows rolled all the way down.
Calvin, stay on the trail.
There is one area where it would be possible to get off trail if you weren't paying attention. Right where the switchbacks start, it appears that the trail makes a T. However, going off to the right will lead you through the creek and uphill, and the left will take you up towards Grandeur Peak. There's a small sign to indicate this, but if you're not looking for it, I could see how you could miss it. This section of the trail makes regular switchbacks as it climbs steadily up the hill. If hiking in the spring, you'll be rewarded with an abundance of wildflowers. As the trail climbs the hillside, it will go through various sections where the foliage gets quite dense and thick, followed by sections where you're almost entirely exposed. Due to these intermittent views, it almost seems like the hills are rising up from the canyon floor as you climb towards the summit. Although not directly tied to the mileage, this 3-mile trail is made up of 3 parts. The first, where you hike up Church Fork. The second, where you climb the switchbacks up the canyon wall. And the third, where you ascend toward the summit on the top of the ridge. This third section is easily identified because as the trail makes its last major switchback, it does so beneath an exposed cliff. Use caution on this section as some of these rocks can be fairly loose. As quickly as the trail crosses into this rock slide, it leaves it, and soon you'll be hiking on dirt again. Throughout this third section, your view of Mill Creek Canyon gets much better as you're almost to the top of the peak. There are fewer trees on this third section of trail, so your opportunities for resting in the shade are spread farther apart. There's still a few good places though. I would suggest continuing along the ridge until it transverses and you can cross over onto the north side. There, you'll be able to rest in the shade and take in the view of Parley's Canyon. This last section of the trail may not be as steep as what you've already done, but a good section of the trail remains. So if you're not accustomed to this strenuous activity or acclimated to the elevation, take your time here and pay attention to how you're doing. Particularly in the summer months, it's easy to get overwhelmed at these high elevations where the sun is more intense. If you miss the first area where the trail comes alongside the top of the ridge, you'll get a second opportunity to look down into Parley's Canyon before reaching the summit. Here, the trail will cross right up next to the northern ridge. A few large trees provide intermittent shade as you round the southern face of Grandeur Peak. There are also some large exposed rocks that you'll have to climb over in this area, but if you've been able to make it this far, I'm confident that you can make it over these.
You got it? Want help? I think this way.
One of the animals you're not going to see on the canyon floor are these small lizards. You'll typically only see them as they scurry off in front of you, but if you're careful, you can sometimes catch a good glimpse. As you round from the southern to the eastern corner, the city will come into view again. From here, the summit is dead ahead. Once you've reached the top, there's only one thing left to do: find the summit marker. These are placed by the USGS to mark the official summit of mountains. There's nothing like the top of a mountain to remind you how small the world is and how much a half a day's effort can accomplish. But don't take it from me. Take it from some fellow hikers.
Who are you guys?
Alicia,
And I'm Manny.
What was your favorite part about this?
the challenge.
I'd say for me it's the view. Yeah. The 360 is really nice.
It was nice to get around this corner and then all of a sudden you could see the city from the back, and that was really cool. And then yeah, it was just a good challenge. Like, I feel really accomplished right now. Just been meaning to get up here and start doing it, so we started.
Great. What made you guys want to do this hike?
Mainly because of the little one right here.
Yeah.
Dog friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big cottonwood. couldn't have dogs, so we're like, we'll go on this one first, see how it goes.
All right, thank you guys.
Yep.
Thank you for watching this episode of Video Trail Reports. Since you've made it this far, hit the like button. And if you'd like to see more of these, why don't you consider subscribing? You can also find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon. If there's something that you felt like I left out of this, go ahead and leave it in the comments. You can also suggest additional hikes that you'd like to see in the future. Thanks for watching.